Good morning, SJLA, 7th grade. Welcome to the
David.
Coach.
Herman 7th grade science show. Today we're having another of the algae. It's going to be number 14, lab number 14, photosynthesis and temperature. So you're going to take your little capsules and put them in different temperature water. Don't put it in boiling water because the little guy's going to burn up. But put them in ice water, room temperature water, and warm, like out of the faucet, warm water, okay? And we're going to see which one helps photosynthesis or not. Equator should be warm, more photosynthesis. North Pole, South Pole should be cold, probably less. Let's see if that holds out to be true. All right, you guys ready?
Ready.
Hit it. You're on.
Okay, Lions. All right, Coach Looney here. Now I'm going to lead us through this lab, and Mr. David's going to help record the data. So, in front of us, Lab 14, all right, we have 3 beakers. First beaker being our cold water, okay, and our algae's resting in there. Second beaker being our hot water. And our third beaker is our room temperature water. Now all 3 of them are exposed to the light equally, and we're going to record the first 10 minutes. They've been sitting here for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to have Mr. David write them up on your graph that you're going to submit via Google Classroom to Mr. Hilke's class. So, number 1 is going to be our cold water, Mr. Zamudio, and that is going to be just about, as we look at it, I would say 7.8. So, number 1, 7.8. Excellent job.
A+.
A+. So, number 2, our hot water. Our hot water, if we look at that, number 2, that is about a, I don't know, Mr. Hilke, what do you say about that one?
I'd put it 7.4.
7.4?
Or has it got more color than that?
Yeah, 7.4 sounds good.
Okay.
7.4 for number 2. Perfect. And finally, our room temperature one seems to be a little darker. I would say 8.2.
8.2, number 3.
Okay, and Lions, we'll be back in about 10 minutes,
Okay.
and Mr. David will go ahead and we'll record on our second graph for 20 minutes. Welcome back, Lions. Okay, we're back. It's been 20 minutes. We're looking at our beakers of our water, our cups of water. We got our cold one, so let's go ahead and look at this one and see how it's changed, and we record the data. Mr. Zamudio will put it there. So after about 20 minutes, as we're looking, first we had number 1 at 7.8, and it looks like it's sitting there close to about 7.9. So if you want to put 7.9 for number 1 next to the 20 minutes, Mr. David. So right here.
Okay.
7 point. Just put it in
Just
between.
right in the middle.
Just
so
right in the middle
right
of.
in the middle.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
good. Number 2 are hot. If we look at that, not much change. I know on the first one we had 7.4, but I would go ahead and say 7.6 is the change there. And then finally, number 3, our room temperature. Room temperature is roughly about 8.0. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes, 8.0 for number 3. Perfect. We'll be back in 10 minutes to record our 30 minutes. Welcome back, Lions. 30 minutes has passed, and now we want to go ahead and check and take a look and record our data here. So I'm going to go to beaker number 1, which was our cold water, and if we take it out and we look at it, okay, it's actually, for number 1, Mr. David, is going to be about 7.6. Number 1, 7.6. Perfect. Okay, now let's go to number 2, and number 2 was our hot beaker, and that's going to go to roughly about 8.4. So we got a little jump there for number 2. And then finally, our room temperature beaker, number 3, okay, number 3 is going to be 8.2. Perfect. So let's go ahead and take a look at our graph. Okay, excellent job, Mr. David.
Thank you.
And we'll come back and we'll go 40. Well, actually, we'll let it sit for another 10 minutes and record that. And we'll also record 50 minutes, and then we'll draw our graph. Welcome back, Lions. We're at the 40-minute mark of our lab, number 14, photosynthesis and temperature. So yours might look a little different than ours. Just give it a shot, and you know what? If you don't see as much change, let it sit there a little longer, okay, and go from there. But at the 40-minute mark, Mr. David, for number 1,
Yes,
for
sir.
number 1, we're roughly at about 7.5, 7.4. So
So I'm gonna put it right here in the middle.
actually,
Oh,
put it right about there.
Yep, sorry about that.
That's okay. See, that's why you have a good lab partner.
Okay.
There you go.
Sorry about that.
Great lab partner, okay?
7.4.
7.4. And then if we go to number 2, our hot one seems to be getting a little darker, okay? And that's going to be right about 8.2. Okay? And then finally, number 3. Number 3, our room temperature. Our room temperature is at 8.0. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes to get our final numbers, and we'll go ahead and make our graph, our chart. So, Lions, it's been 50 minutes. We're here, ready to rock and roll. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and record our last set of data for our time, for our 3 beakers. The first one, number 1, is our cold beaker. And over the 50 minutes, we've seen some change. So I'm gonna go ahead and Mr. David on number 1, we're gonna record that as 7.4. Number 1, there we go. Okay, number 2, our hot beaker, that has hot water in it, we're going to record, and that is going to be 8.4. And finally, our room temperature beaker, is going to be 8.2.
So, Assistant Principal Luna, do you think these kids are smart enough to run this lab for another hour and then let us know if they got different results? Because I think we all agree we're not getting the change that we expected. So you kids are smart enough, you're bright enough. Let the lab run for an hour or two and let us know what results you've got. So if you connect the dots, Dave,
Okay.
we will wrap
How do I do the color?
lab 14 up.
Red ones.
Good lines.
Hold it again. Go to blue. The 2.
Good job, Dave.
Right.
And then 3 will be just solid black.
Okay, so with science, sometimes you don't get what you expect, but you report what you get. So you guys let yours run another hour or so and report back how it looks, okay? I want to thank Assistant Principal Luna and David with this thing, and we're going to cut away. You guys
Thank
ready?
you for letting me be a guest. Thank you for letting me be a guest,
Yes,
Mr.
you're very
Hildy
good.
and
Thank
Mr.
you.
David.
All
Loved
right.
it. Bye, guys.